Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. First journey is picking out what deck we're going to use. I do this before every reading. This is actually the deck that I've been thinking about, but that doesn't mean that it wants to be bothered. So we do get consent before every reading because I want to be sure that the deck that we use wants to actually provide a message, right? So I'm just going to shuffle the deck until one card comes out. We're only going to take one. So, and it's either a yes or no card. And if it's a no card, we just move on to the next deck. So that's why I have all these decks out here. So while we're doing that, just a quick little setting expectations. What was that? Seven of Cups reversed. We're going to take that as a no. I'm not psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I do know these cards, and my intention is to give you the message as it's coming through to me in as many ways as it is coming through to me. And also, I like to, Page of Swords, the Star, okay, I think we will. We will use, I think this is the Guardians deck. I haven't even actually used this deck for YouTube readings before, so that's fun. Okay. So, what was I saying? I like to explain the cards to you because no doubt you are receiving your own message, your own confirmation, because obviously you're the one that's living your life. So if there is not a message that I'm saying out loud, but there is something that is coming through to you that is very much a message, but also at the same time, don't try to fit a square peg into a round hole to fit a narrative. Obviously use your discernment. Not everything in the reading may resonate for you. It is a general reading, blah, blah, blah. What else though? I feel like I'm missing something. I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, I'm just glad that we are both here. But of course, it does help me grow, and I love that. I do feel like I'm missing something, but whatever. If I think of it, if it comes to me, then I'll just message you in in the reading. So, yeah, let's get to it. Great. So, this is a reading for Aquarius. Wherever Aquarius is in your chart, I hope you're all doing well. What's going on in Aquarius? Oh, yeah, Pluto. Pluto's in Aquarius. I believe it just went retrograde at the beginning of May, right? So if you have anything at the early degrees of Aquarius, Pluto is kind of tap dancing, line dancing, whatever. You know, it might have passed it. It might be going back over it, and then it'll go over it again. Oh man, Saturn did that to my midheaven. We have the Four of Pentacles. Actually, Pluto, let me see. No, just kidding. Okay. What else for Aquarius? Oop. the Nine of Cups. I am pretty sure, well, the last couple times the Nine of Cups has come out, it has come out in that same position, sideways. Suspend, Queen of Wands. I mean, I feel like they were all kind of piled up around here, so we'll just kind of keep them that way. I mean, it feels like, and really only just because the cards did make it a point to fall on top of the Four of Pentacles. Let me just kind of, I hope that there isn't a glare. Is that too low? No, you can see it. Okay. What? But yeah, what was I saying? Oh, like because the cards fell almost like right on top of the Four of Pentacles, right? Both of them. So it almost kind of feels like these two cards are like clarifiers for the Four of Pentacles. And traditionally, the Four of Pentacles is about holding on too tight. It's the beginning stage of lack and scarcity that comes with the Five of Pentacles. I don't think that that's how this book describes the Four of Pentacles. I mean, I'm going to read the book anyway because I've just really enjoyed the message that this author created for each one of these cards. That is not traditional to the meaning, and that's why I love reading guidebooks for tarot decks that people create, because, you know, I love having the expanded, I mean, you really should just make it your own, you know, anything that we do. It's like, you know, we have a baseline. We know the traditions around things, and you guys probably know this more than anybody, right? Because I'm sitting here like, why am I even talking about this? I really do try my best to like just say the shit that comes out of my head. Anyway, especially during readings, like that's, you know, my intention, like through me, not from me, right? So anyway, but yeah, I mean, maybe there is something to that, you know, like having the foundation in quote unquote tradition, but then tweaking it, expanding it, truly making it your own, you know. And really it would be because you can see the potential, you can see beyond the, you know, traditional like teachings of a thing. So anyway, side quest, coming back to the Four of Pentacles, like I was saying, it's that the moment, or moments I should say, where the scarcity and lack mindset takes root in the traditional tarot, right? Because it is like holding on too tight. It is being worried that if you use your resources, use your money, your time, your energy, materials, whatever, that you're either not going to receive back what you are putting out, or it's going to like leave a deficit, you know. So it's like, you know, it's like, it's almost like pinching pennies, but to your detriment. And it really almost starts to become limiting beliefs, because right when we do that, I mean, we really are like limiting our own potential. Of course, nobody is saying ever to just, you know, like while out and spend your whole life savings on something, but hey, if there's something you want to take a chance on. Also, this is not financial advice. But no, really, right? Like, even investing in a course, investing in your health, in whatever capacity, like, investing in literally yourself. Like, you cannot go wrong. And understanding that, the energy will find its way back to you if you loosen your grip a little bit. The Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment, having your desires met, feeling purposeful. It's individual too, right? So it's very much like, what is your idea of wish fulfillment? Cultivating a life that you love. And with it being sideways, it's not quite reverse. It almost kind of feels like it's working its way on becoming upright. Maybe there is something that you have put on the back burner. Maybe it's something that you just won't allow yourself necessarily to consider or believe that it's attainable. It feels more back burner-y though. And suspend is the Hanged Man. Also sideways. Right? This almost kind of feels like teeter-tottery. This one, going back and forth on an idea, on your perception of something. The Hanged Man is about suspense, being in limbo, delay, right? But like it's purposeful. That's not the word that I really wanted to use though. Active delay, is that in the sense that the whole thing with the Hanged Man is seeing things from a different perspective. Also too, that there are multiple perspectives to be viewed about any one situation. And truly it is just a flip of a switch to change your mind about how you are viewing something. And the Hanged Man, traditionally, they're hanging upside down by their foot. They're not in distress. They're not even trying to get out of it. So it could even be a period of rest, actually. I don't think that a lot of people view limbo or delay as a time of being a time for rest. What? How did I like, did that make sense? Because usually we're just like, let's go, right? Like we want something, we can see it, we want to put our energy towards it. But if it's just not like manifesting in a time frame that we're comfortable with, we never see delay as a time to catch up on rest. We always kind of see it as like a failure, or like things aren't working out, or you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but like, we just, I think people, me included, especially, like with the Nine of Cups, like, especially if it is something that you do really want and you are trying to cultivate. And again, if it's not happening in a time frame that you would be happy with, or that in your head you've put parameters around like what would be successful, like a time frame that equals success, right? So any type of suspension of that, or any type of delay in that, or if it extends out longer, then it's like, oh God, it's not working, or it's not successful or whatever. Like, instead of just literally relaxing and almost like waiting for the energy to catch up to you, because, where we are in the 3D, it takes a different type of time than, our manifesting or our manifestations for something to actualize in the physical 3D. And too, like, getting clear on that. And, with this card coming out about perspective, I haven't even read from the book yet. Like, I was going to, and then I got this feeling to go through the cards first, because I have a feeling that we're going to get some answers here or something. Like, so it'll be interesting once we do read from the book, like what the messages are for each card. The Queen of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, and that card is absolutely beautiful. I haven't even seen this card yet. These kind of look like hibiscus flowers, or even the flowers that they put in leis in Hawaii, like, I don't know what kind of flowers those are. I just know that they're beautiful. But this whole card is beautiful to me. Like, I love the sun aspect here, and that in the middle of it there's this path opening up. The sun in tarot is literally everything good. It's joy, it's bliss, rebirth. Literally the thing that gives us life. It's the ultimate motivation too, right? It's the fire. Queens are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. So we recognize the energy, we learn to work with it, we learn to give it to ourselves, right? Like, it's that point of mastering it before, of course, moving on to the King, which is when we share that with other people. I always see the Queen of Wands as being confident, expressive, authentic, this like teeter-totter thing. Over here, it's like if you were on one side of an extreme, whatever that was, like not doing much, not taking much action, not having a ton of motivation, not expressing yourself, almost kind of hermity, right? Then this card to me feels like almost slingshotting, or like, teeter-tottering to the other side, like expressing yourself openly, being creative, really honing in on your passions, right? Like really getting your hands dirty, showing up authentically, expressing yourself authentically, like being seen even. So yeah, let's go back to the beginning. Four of Pentacles. Whoops. The Four of Pentacles says, this guardian is observing a family making their way to their house of evening worship, bringing their faith together to unify them with a common core belief. The guardian supports those who adhere to their innate inner truth, live by their words, and demonstrate through their actions. As this card is drawn, live by your truth, your grounding belief. Abide by the words that you have taken to represent your own. Revel and cherish in being unified with others who share the same sentiments. Interesting too how in the Nine of Cups over here, there's also this, it looks like a church. Definitely, I'm not trying to, I think for me, that's just, like, again, it was saying your beliefs, right? Like, supports those who adhere to their innate inner truth, live by their words and demonstrate through their actions. It definitely does not have to be tied to religion. Just throwing that out there in case you're like me, and do not abide by or believe in a religion. Okay, so just throwing a little disclaimer out there. So it's interesting. Let's see what the Nine of Cups and suspend. We're going to read both the upright and the reversed. Well, maybe. We'll start with the reverse and we'll see where it goes, because they're kind of like sideways. I keep going back to like look at this Four of Pentacles though. Maybe it is, like a time of evaluating who you surround yourself with. And two, what are your beliefs? What's your inner truth, And also, it's like one of those things, right, of you don't want to necessarily just surround yourself with people who have the same beliefs, outlooks, whatever, as you do, right? Because then it just kind of becomes like an echo chamber. However, though, if there are people around you whose beliefs are that much more, or even not honoring their own truth, don't have a moral compass, I don't know. Like I said, I keep coming back to this Four of Pentacles. So it's like there's something there that we haven't quite talked about yet. And, it's like if you're holding on to something out of familiarity, regardless of if it is people or a person around you or yourself, right? Like, because it could very well have to do with your own truth and something having to do with how you express that, how you live it, how it shows up in your life. And maybe it's something that has changed, is changing, evolving even, is probably a better word for it. And then again, like with the traditional meaning of the Four of Pentacles, like, are you holding on to something out of lack or scarcity? Because again, it is familiar. There's a history there, right? Interesting. So the Nine of Cups says, this guardian watches from the skies as a traveler approaches the intersection along the road of life. At various points, let me put this upright just in case you're actually watching. The guardian watches from the skies as the traveler approaches the intersection along the road of life. At various points in life, there are choices to be made, decisions that must be made on one's own without or with only a gentle supportive stance from others. Reversed, it says, this card suggests that making a decision right now at this moment may not be the best thing to do. You need to give yourself more time and not push the issue just to have a decision. Interesting. Let's read the upright. Although you may feel that you need guidance more than ever at this moment, the choice of where you go from this point is yours to make. Understand that those who love you are most certainly watching over you, but they acknowledge that you are at a time in your life when you need to make your own decisions. No one else is responsible for the events that happen. They are of your own making. Make them match your highest possible happiness. So yeah, like truly, right? Like if you don't, like if the answer is not clear, don't do anything. If it's accessible, right? Like don't do anything until the answer is clear. Allow yourself to, work through the available decisions, right? Like pros and cons if you need to, or, just kind of see how they, since this is cups have to do with our emotions. sift through them on the emotional realm. How do they feel? Does it feel good or bad? You know, left, right. Whatever. And it's interesting because the suspend card, I believe, also talks about not making... Let's see. Okay, so the suspend card says, the guardian watches as his yellow leaves are now ready to fall one by one. He is lost in a hypnotic trance, and the ripples dance upon the water surface as each leaf hits the surface. His concept of time has been suspended. In the reverse, you continue to relive the past, and the past is reliving you. There is a pattern that is occurring and needs to be addressed. Which is more than likely why, the Nine of Cups, too, is like, don't make a decision. Especially, too, like if there is just an old cycle, an old pattern of behavior, an old way of thinking, an old belief, and if that's the thing that's coming up, and too, if that is the thing that's kind of keeping you in a cycle of like indecision, first of all, the energy is available to change that, right? Like if you aren't allowing yourself to make a decision based on, just the awareness that you're in an old cycle, or even that it feels the same way that it might have before, then don't. Again, wait. Wait for clarity. Wait for more information too. Because really, the more information that you have, the better able you are to make decisions. Upright, this card represents that for now, this moment with inactivity is the best thing. It is a call to pause, hold off on an action or decision as the timing is not right. During these moments, embrace each memory, hold them dear. Use this time to process and lay to rest the past. Yeah, bro. See, I think we are getting some answers here. The Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck says, the Guardian Queen calls forth the inner divine to assist in showing the light of a new path. Circled in a flame, this pathway illustrates an underlying passion that resides within each to follow their life's purpose. And that's probably what's going on here, right? Like, you could be feeling like you're at a point of almost like facing yourself, right? Like, and with this fork in the road, it's kind of like, do you want to stay in the energy that you have been in, which may not be bad. I mean, got you here, right? But no doubt you are already aware of this other thing that may be pulling your energy towards it. And maybe like for whatever reason, it's bringing up shit in you, which is great because now, there's an opportunity to address those things, whatever they are. And also we should be, quote unquote, should. Anyway, we should be going towards the things that scare the shit out of us. That's where the growth happens. So, by having this insight, this connection to your passion, you are able to pull together the necessary energies to bring it to fruition. Harness the creative vice she brings to achieve the inner dreams that keep you moving forward. Absolutely. See? This is that clarity. When you have more information, when you do get clear on how you want to express or create this thing, I mean, truly the path does present itself to you, right? Beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.